G'day, guys, and welcome to the Centre Bounds for this, my very late team review for how I did in Gather Round. Stay tuned. Yes, guys, as you can see from the bottom there, and also on the title, yes, I have was there. I was that Gather Round this year, went there and had an incredible time. Got to see all of the Adelaide Oval games in person. First time I've watched any football game interstate, and it was great, great fun. The day off on Friday and on Monday. Friday drove there, Monday came back, and it was so good. It was wonderful. And if you haven't been there, it is absolutely worthwhile. Adelaide Oval is right there. There's this nice bridge and this river, and they have this nice festival going on over there. You might see this little ring here. It was being used as a target. People were kicking from the shore, and if you could torpedo the ball into this, you got $10,000. And they had the lifesaver crew going around collecting the footballs and returning them to the shore. Honestly, it's such a great vibe over there at Adelaide Oval. And this is on the other side. Just did a bit of a time lapse there walking through. Got to see so many great people. It was lots and lots of fun. Ran into Shorty Supercoach there in the flesh. It was so good to talk to and meet Shorty. Obviously, living out in the Geelong area, very rare for me to see him at all, but we got to bump into him here at the Gather Round Festival, which was awesome. We also got to run into Hurls, Silver Top Hurls from the Fantasy Insight Sport crew. Obviously, you guys would know all about them with Mick, the Supercoach horse, and obviously Squiddy. So they've done an incredible. It's so good, so good over there, and it was a lot of good fun, a lot of good vibes, and this is inside Adelaide Oval on the Friday night where I was sitting in the nosebleeds, but still very picturesque. This was the Friday night game. So genuinely loved the experience. This was the Saturday afternoon between Carlton and West Coast. Really interesting thing about Adelaide Oval, there are fans up here. You don't see them in this photo, but there are genuine fans up in the ceiling. And it might seem far away, but believe me, these are good seats because when the sun beams and it's hot, everyone on level one was coming up to sit next to us because it's way too hot. So it was a great spot. Got to meet so many wonderful people. This is a nice shot from the iconic hill on the hill at Adelaide Oval. There's the old scoreboard, and this was on the Saturday night before our game against the D's, and it's always wonderful to get a win. So this was a wonderful experience. Very rowdy bunch over there in that part of the ground. And you might also recognize that we got to bump into some other friendly faces. Jono, we were on the St. Binger Supercoach. Was really good to see him, as well as Liam, of course, the other half of Supercoach Edge with Damo. So it was great to see them both after the Essendon Melbourne game. You might also recognize this guy if you guys know Dan Does Footy or Richmond Does Footy. This is Ollie Gill. This is the co-host of Dan Does Footy. Got to see him outside of the St Kilda game, which was really cool. And also, if you're a Saints supporter, you might know Cardman. So yeah, Paddy, he's a good young man, and yeah, it was good to see him outside of the ground as well. So absolute ripper of a holiday. Highly recommend that you go if you can in the future. I was going there, did a lot of Fancast stuff. This is my other podcast that I do. I'm the host of Fancast AFL with a familiar face. If you know, of course, it's our great friend SDS Supercoach Stevo. And if you go there, you'll find all of the stories and all the interviews. When I was over there, you get to keep track. This was a hilarious video, by the way. That one where we did the quiz, that was so much fun. But if you haven't chucked us a follow on Fancast AFL, we'll greatly appreciate that as well. So much fun was had. And you know what? The team also had fun. My Supercoach team scored 22.92 this week. We had slid 15,000 last week and we said season over. Well, you guys told me it wasn't over. And apparently the universe listened to you because I've just reclaimed those 15,000 spots again. And I'm back where I was 2 weeks ago. So am I complaining? Absolutely not. Pretty pleased with how it went. We managed to dodge the Whitfield captaincy. We had BC deconning into Brayshaw, who was our trade in last week. Yes, We said goodbye to Rosie, who decides to have a role change out of the blue. Thank you very much. But we still got the 155 from Brayshaw, and Callahan made way for Christian Petrarca. So we also netted points there, and Petrarca's also got the DPP now, which is excellent. So all in all, despite once again another primo I trade out decides to play like a man possessed, we understand that I'm cursed this year. And so everyone I trade out, trade them in or hold on to them. So Whitfield 86, Zorko 82, they both struggled with the smaller ground. Sheasel 102, look, Clark 104. Basically, anyone who's scoring over 100, I'll gladly take it without complaint. Robert with a 79. Roberts, couple of pretty bad clangers. One absolute atrocity. It was not insufficient intent, was not out of bounds. But yeah, so Roberts unfortunately got screwed and therefore has lost money. And now his break even is quite high, 125. O'Connell was there. We kept as a loop between Reed and Trainer. We sort of knew that Melbourne give up all the points to defenders. And guess what? It was true again. Roberts, 100, Reed, 104. So beautiful. This kid is an all Australian in the making. Soak it in, lads. Soak it in. We're going to be good. We're going to be very good in the future. Trainer also with an 80. So both of these two boys absolutely printing cash. Inflation will be through the roof. Chera with a 117 took advantage of the easier matchup. Been super consistent this year, Chera. I never thought this was possible, touching all of the wood that I can get my hands on. But, 98, 99, the lowest scores. Been wonderful thus far. More consistent than any other player I have in my team. Petrarca with a 96 could have turned up if it wasn't for Durham's does. I love you, does. That never say die attitude did not give up on the play and put him off just enough to miss a certain goal. It did hit my super coach, but as a Bombers man, can't knock that effort. Oliver 86, he got clamped by Seta Goat, if you don't mind. Put respect on Seta Goat's name. What a legend. Comes in, he scores 110, 10 tackles, leads for pressure acts, and Oliver eats shit. Marriage with an 84. This kid, man. Oh my god, this kid. He is the biggest kick-in merchant of all time, and I love him for it. That's why we brought him in. Levi with a 90. Well done, son. Keep it going all the way. Also got the forward DPP. Bellissimo. Maxwell with a 62. And Lindsay was being managed a bit. Obviously, his first game back, playing at Adelaide Oval. I anticipate this week he's back at the MCG. Hopefully can perform better than that. Henderson, you suck. You suck. Gone 145. Definitely we were kissed. The Bombers are the worst matchup for Rucks. But unfortunately for my beloved Bombrays, Nick Bryan confirmed ACL. That's now a second one in as many weeks. We lost Edwards and we've now lost Bryan. We obviously lost Peter before and Langford. We're just getting decimated with injury. We are already a very young team. Adding injuries to some of our more experienced players does not help. So Gorn feasted, took advantage, and did very well with a 145, and DeConning with a 118. The worst 118 I've seen from him, or really anyone. It was really bizarre. But we take it. And thankfully, he didn't go 120 plus, because if he did, we would have missed out on Brayshaw's 155. So, bellissimo. Rankin 91. That's fine. I'm not complaining. 90 plus scores in the forward line, and it's nothing that I'm going to scoff at. McRae got tagged in scorching hot conditions and Norwood Oval. Obviously, we saw Ollie Gill outside and Cardman. It was a stinking hot day. We had the opportunity to get tickets, but we decided not to because it's already a small ground, and on a boiling hot day, we'd just all be sweating on top of each other. So we thought, nah, no good. McRae probably was suffering from that. Baz 126 playing the night game. Beautiful score. Beautiful birds. Daniel 116. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall and he's had a great fall and he's pissed me off to no end because I paid good dollars for him thinking that he's going to be a cash cow, but he hasn't ended up doing that. And now we're really hoping that against Richmond Tigers this week he can pop off. Pop off. You haven't put on notice. Davidson the 61. Who would have possibly have thought that this guy was going to lose by 40 points to Pal Pepper? That port game was off the charts. And we love Pal Pepper so much now because he keeps generating us lots and lots of money. So, so good. His break even is back again in the negatives, -12, if you don't mind. So, Pal Pepper, very spicy, very, very spicy. Black pepper, white pepper, all of the peppers. I don't care. Keep it up. And biased with an 89. So, do we have to mention him? So that was the team. This is the team that was, and it went very, very well. Very pleased with that. What do we do this week? Well, we know we need to get Cleary, and we know we need to get Gross. Those two we need very much so. All right. How do we get those guys in? Well, we could get rid of Henderson. We could get rid of Davidson. His break even is 60. So he's getting up there. So he's pretty close to maxed out. So if we play in the break even game, Davidson couldn't be on the way out, as could Henderson. And that's what I want to do. I want to say Henderson goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. But now it's time to go. You suck. You scored 13 points for me. And we're going to get Tom Gross in. And then in the forward line, we can get Cleary. And then we have 234K. And with that money, look, I don't see a reason why we need to keep Roberts, personally. He was never going to be a keeper. He was never going to be top of line. You know, he was supposed to just be a placeholder and / money maker, value option. And I found a better value option for the same team, scoring better, or at almost half the price. So I will use your value in another way, good sir. And I shall use it by getting in a premium midfielder, because our midfield is in dire need of extra assistance. Who do we get? Who is the player that we want to get into this midfield? Well, I've seen a lot of people go with Nick Dacos, and that is a very, very good option. Nick Dacos is a wonderful option because at his price point and his output, we know that he certainly presents great value. 584,000. He is 46.6k cheaper than he was at the start of the season, with a break even of 121. I'm hoping he doesn't score 121 against the Brisbane Lions, who are a very tough midfield to score against. Because what I want to do is I want to pick my captain, Zach Merritt. I have spoken so much about him. It's very glowingly. I love him to bits. If I have a son, I shall name him Zach. Because this guy, we do not deserve him. He is still probably one of the most underrated superstars in the competition. I'm not even joking. Because this man is the closest thing to a machine, to a bionic man, as you can possibly find. I'm about to pull DFS Australia, and I have shown this many a time, but we must always be reminded of the greatness of this man. This man is not a man. He is more than that. Look at this. 116, 115, 116, 112, 114.6, 115.6, 104.6. This is consistency, the likes of which you have never seen. It is consistent, all within the standard deviation. This man might genuinely be a robot, but he's a robot with a heart, and it bleeds red and black. Loyalty, honor, courage, self-sacrifice. All of these wonderful traits, which makes him not only a great Supercoach scorer, but also a great two-way player. And he is on track. If we can win more games for him, potentially Brownlow medal. I know it is wishful thinking. We have to keep winning. But, look at the run. Look at the run, ladies and gentlemen. The run. He's got West Coast. Then Collingwood. Then North. And don't tell me tags. Doesn't matter. He pushes forward and kicks goals. And it balances out. And then it balances out. Still gets disposals. anything, there is upside. Why? Look at his disposal efficiency this far this year. He's going at 62%. He has never gone this low before. Never. He's normally 70, mid 70s to low 70s, 69, 69. He's never low 60s. He can clean up his disposal even more. He's still tackling like a monster. He's still accumulating like a monster. He had sub 60% disposal efficiency in these two games, and he still scored over 100. Which premiums do you know in the midfield to go under 60% CBS, under 60% disposal efficiency and still ton up? This one comfortably, 124. Oh, captain, my captain, you are in my side. I love you to the ends of the world, and I shall return with you forever in my heart. These are my trades for this week. You can tell me otherwise, but Merritt against West Coast into Brayshaw against Melbourne seems to be hot AF. Reed, trainer. Reed played before trainer. We will loop between Reed and trainer. Reed scores well, we keep it. He does not score well, we put trainer on. If he doesn't score well, so be it. Unavoidable. Sardis hopefully comes back. Hopefully. If not, then he goes. But I think he will. I think Setterfield came in to play a role to tag Oliver. You look at Melbourne's midfield. Oliver, Petrarca, Viney, Gawn. They're all big bodies. Big bodies. And we were without Caldwell and Parrish. So we were a lot, slighter in frame, I shall say. So we needed to bring in a big body to combat that. And so we brought in Setter Goat, put respect on the name, to do a job. Led with tackles, 10 tackles, and most pressure acts for the game. Against West Coast, I don't think we have that problem. And same thing against Collingwood. I don't think we have that problem. So I think Sardis walters back into the side and continues to make good money for us, I think. And so this is what the team looks like going into the week. We have used our last boost. We are boostless, but we still have 91,200 in the bank, which we will use next week to trade out Humpty Dumpty, and we can bring in either a Marriage or an Ashcroft or a Petrarca, whoever it may be. Will come forward, and we will hopefully get Nick Dacos. Hopefully, Nick Dacos does not perform as well as expected. Hopefully, he struggles against a midfield consisting of Lockie Neal, Josh Dunkley, Hugh McCluggage, and Will Ashcroft. Very good midfield. Very tough. I know Nick Dacos is a gun, but so are the Lions as a group, as a whole. And hopefully, he struggles in what will be dewy, slippery conditions. A few kicks out on the full will be greatly appreciated. A few slips due to the slippery, dewy conditions and getting caught holding the ball will be greatly appreciated. So I can get you in much easier next week. I am channeling some dastard energy right now. Hopefully, I can cause some luck to turn my way for once. Because normally it has not been going my way this year. But this is the team. And these are the trades. Let me know how you guys did in the comments down below. And I apologize once again for the delay and the tardiness in my upload. I arrived very late on Monday night. Tonight, we have been recording the members stream in which we welcomed Big Bubba to the group. And our community team is absolutely flying. I wish my team was the community team, but it is not. This is what I have. And for now, I am content. Let me know what you guys think I should do otherwise. And let me know how you guys did on the weekend. Were you guys in Adelaide? Were you at Gather Round? Do you intend to go to Gather Round at some point? Because if you do, I applaud you. And if you are not yet convinced, I hope you may change your mind. And again, check us out on Fancast AFL, where you get to see your boy and friends talk about football. Jeez, that's way too far. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you had to hear and see here today, please drop me a like, subscribe if you're new, notification bell, all that jazz. Because guys, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work, so you don't have to. Bye for now.